Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos, Nigeria. Now, we do have some pictures that you sent in, and we begin with this one from Port Harcourt, the River State capital, showing people waiting to buy petrol during the ongoing fuel scarcity in the nation. And still within that region, in Ndokwa East, in Delta State, comes another picture of an improvised bridge. Residents are asking the government to provide them with basic social infrastructure, including a bridge, motorable roads, electricity, and modern means of communication. Away from the south-south, and this time in Jaba in Kano State, comes this photo of floods. Our eyewitness reporter says the flood was as a result of rainfall. He's raising concerns over what awaits them when the rains start to come, and therefore calls on the relevant authorities to provide a good drainage system to prevent a recurrence of this flood. And from Yanya in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, comes this image of people whom our eyewitness reporter says are stranded due to what he calls artificial gridlock. He therefore appeals to relevant authorities to stop the incessant traffic jam, which he says is avoidable. And finally, this one comes from Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, showing an artificial dump site. Our eyewitness reporter is appealing to the relevant authorities to clear the rubbish. We thank you for sending in these pictures, and we remind you that you too can be a part of our news and events. Well, I'm now being joined on the news at 10 by Chief Olabode George, a politician and a member of the Board of Trustees of the PDP. Chief George, you're welcome to the news at 10.
My pleasure.
Now, everywhere we have turned today, Ekiti, Abuja, Anambra, Benue, the PDP is in the news, and all of it is rather negative. The national chairman resigned this morning, and to crown it all, the chairman of the Board of Trustees resigned this evening. What's your reaction?
You know, when things happen like this, or you have a failure, you have to take some steps back and do a detailed analysis, like a post-mortem analysis. Now, first of all, reacting on the resignation of the national chairman, I think it was honorable. He did what was right. There was too much acrimony and so much noise that was engulfing the whole party. And because he had been very sick, he said on that basis he was resigning his position. That is civil, that is very civilized, and that is very honorable. For me, he will give room for people to look at what happened during the elections and then reposition the party, stabilize the party, and strengthen it. The resignation of Chief Anini came as a rude shock to me this evening, and I'm still not too sure what happened. But the text message I got was that he was doing it as a result of allowing Mr. President to take over from him. Now, what I will say generally on our party is that the party has a culture. The party has a very solid taproot. And we were given a bloody nose. We were not given a technical knockout. We will get back together. But in getting back together, I want to appeal to all members of the party, both members of the National Working Committee and those people outside, that this is not the time to start throwing tantrums. This is not the time to start playing what they call a blame game. We should relax, get back to our inner strength, and reposition. There is a committee that is looking into what happened and what should have happened or what did not happen and the way forward. I will tell and I will, yes.
Before we get to that point, it is a fact that Alhaji Muazu has been under pressure to resign from several quarters. Now that it has happened, what impact do you think it's going to have on the party? And I think we also have to talk about the impact of Chief Aneni's resignation as well. What impact will these two resignations have on the party?
Let me take that of the national chairman. You know, there had been, like I said, a lot of groanings and a lot of noise about whether he should stay, or some were advocating for his exit, but he has now thrown in his towel. And what I said was that what he did was honorable, distinguishable, and because he was a foundation member of the party and a foundation governor of the party, he remains a top-class member of the party. He will remain a member of the Board of Trustees. He will remain a member of NEC forever by our constitution. But having said that, now that he had gone willingly, nobody forced him to go, we should quickly get back. The constitution of our party is very clear. If you have a representative from a local government as a member of any of the bodies of the party and he resigns, you should go back to that particular zone and replace him until the next convention. I don't think it will have any other impact but a positive one. We will settle down very quickly. You can't have a vacuum. Somebody is already acting, and because we must follow the constitution, NEC must meet as quickly as possible to replace him, and we can then go on. On the issue of the Board of Trustees, that is pretty different, because the Board of Trustees, which is the conscience of the party, we don't normally contest that position, because the position is the upper chamber. It is the conscience of the party. It is first among equals in that group. And maybe Baba Anini is feeling his health, or he's had enough. I don't still know the details. But having left, it is only the members of the Board of Trustees that will meet and then select somebody to be chairman of the Board of Trustees. Its position, the major function in the Board of Trustees is advisory, you know. So it won't have any much impact other than they will get somebody else of that status to take over and run the party.
You already made an appeal, Chief George, for peace and togetherness within the party. But moving forward, from May the 29th, the PDP becomes the opposition. Is the party really in a fit position to present itself as a credible opposition?
Let me reassure Nigerians. This is not a party that is a congregation of so many strange bedfellows like we have in APC that is forming the government. You know, right now, you have the old ACN, the CPC, the ABGA, and you know, and some old PDP also coming together. They still haven't formed a unified culture. They still haven't formed what you call the norm of the party. For example, in our party, we have a culture of zoning. I had the first acting chairman of APC saying that zoning is not in their concept, it is PDP that has that. The way we came about zoning was to ensure that everybody in Nigeria, whether you are from the minority or from the majority, will have a sense of belonging to the party. And that was why we had the concept. And I am ready to debate with anybody that what has sustained democracy for 16 years was this concept of zoning. I call it turn by turn Nigeria Limited. Because if it's a matter of the majority ruling, what happens to those minority in the north and the minority in the south? We want participation. and it must be effective. So for me, our party will get stronger. We will provide and ensure that the opposition we will give will be very constructive, will be people-oriented, and will be issue-driven. That I can assure you. This is a party that has come a long way. We had gone through all kinds of tribulations. This experience will strengthen us. That is why I'm appealing to our people. It is not time for blame game. No, we should sit down as a party, close the doors, get inside the room, and discuss at length and do a thoroughbred post-mortem analysis. And then we come out with a position. All this blame game should stop. And I appeal to all hands, both members of the working committee and those who are being accused and those who are, this is not the time for that. And I beg them, in the interest of this nation, in the interest of the party and our founding fathers, that we should cool down, listen to sense of reason, and reposition the party, because this opposition will require very constructive issues on our side to debate before Nigerians to know that we are the party to beat.
Thank you very much, Chief George, for joining us on the news at 10. I've been speaking with Chief Olabode George, a member of the PDP Board of Trustees, about latest developments within the party. Still ahead on the news at 10, the Nigerian Army court-martials 579 soldiers for alleged inimical acts. Do join us again.